Hello, my name is Dr. Rob Mayer, and I'm going to go over the 5-minute protocol for our brain-body O2. So right now, we're going to start off with make sure you put the pulse ox on the patient and have it on their index finger. And this little box down here should read Bluetooth pulse ox connected. Next, for a new patient, what we're going to do is we're going to click on the new patient button here. And then we're going to fill in the different categories here. So I'm just going to make a patient up. So date of birth we're going to use as 01. And then we're going to go with 01. And we're going to go with 2005. And we're going to say Smith for the last name. First name we'll just call him Bob. And we're going to hit OK. And now it's going to automatically bring him up in the system. So you should see his birthday up here, his name. You have to click on administrator and pick administrator's name. And there should be probably the doctor who bought the system should be up there. Next, we got to make sure when we come down here to this control mode, it needs to be in the SpO2 burst mode. If it's not, you're going to click on that and click on SpO2 burst and it'll put it in that mode. We need to set our negative O2 sign right here, flashing red at 180. Then we're going to drop down to our positive O2, and that's going to be at 120. It should automatically default you to 5-minute session. If not, we're going to make sure this is set right down here, the default session length at 5 minutes. And then our minimum SpO2, we use 85 as just kind of an average. So if you've got somebody who's in pretty good health, 85 is a great place to put that. That means when their SpO2 hits 85 and stays there for, I think it's 10 seconds or longer, it's going to automatically click them back to high O2 so that they can't drop this level too low. But if you have people that are really chronically ill in your office, and if you're doing a lot of like peripheral neuropathy, I assume you do, we're going to set this higher. So I would set this at maybe like 91, 92 to start, and we can slowly start working them down.
We want them to get down into the high 80s when they go through the session.
And maximum heart rate, this is variable too. For if you have somebody who's a really good athlete and in great shape, you may have to increase this. And but with somebody who's in poor health, 120 to 125 is the range we definitely want to use. So those are all the settings we have to have. So you have to have their birthday, the patient name, the administrator. We got to have 180 at the negative O2, 120 at the positive O2. Make sure we're in the SpO2 burst mode. 5 minutes. 85 is our average we'll use here. And then 120 to 125 is average. If you have a really good athlete, like I said, we can crank that up a little bit higher. Then all we're going to do is come over here and we're going to hit start. And that's going to start our session. And what we need to see is when this session starts, right here where it says high O2 mode, should click to low O2 mode, which it did correctly there. And then you're going to let the session run. I suggest for the first session or two that you have yourself or a staff member just stay with the patient and just monitor them and talk them through to make sure there's no difficulties. Other than that, that's exactly what you let the session run. And when it's done, you're going to get a screen that comes up that looks like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to save if you want to save the data or skip to skip data. So that's pretty much how a session runs. I usually save the data and we can use that later on. We have new software that's going to be coming out in the near future. It's going to incorporate this part of the screen. We do not need to worry about that right now, but we have new software that will give us different reports. And so when that comes out, it's going to be really important we save the data. Right now, you really don't need to save the data. You can just hit skip, and that's going to end our session.